my loves. Welcome in to this reading for the full moon in Gemini. I'm so happy to have you here. We are going to be diving into the astrological cycle of the full moon, how it relates to your own astrology, and then we're going to be tapping into our own intuitive guidance, our support team, by utilizing the spiritual tools of the cards to get us advice based on the current astrology and our own astrology. For those who are new, hello and welcome in. It is lovely to have you here. Welcome into this beautiful family, this beautiful process. I'm excited to have you be a part of it. I have a tutorial video that helps you to get the most out of these readings. It gives you a little bit more information about what we're doing here and really how to process through these readings and get the most out of them. It's not necessary for you to watch them, but it is an option should you feel called to utilize it. For those who are not new, hello and welcome back in. Thank you so much for being here. This is a way that my heart loves to connect with you guys. This is like me showing up on a one-on-one basis, even though it's electronic and even though there's a time difference between us. I feel connected to you guys through this guidance, through this advice that I share, and it's just really amazing to be able to offer you this support in this way that I do, and I appreciate you so much for being here. There are many ways that you can support me should you feel called to do that. I am offering these readings for free, so any support that you can give me is welcome. There's free ways to support me and there's financial ways. You can just comment on these. You can share them with other people. You can donate if you want to at paypal.me/devotedvulnerable. Link is in the description. Or you can sign up for your own personal chart reading or card reading at devotedandvulnerable.com/services. Link is also in the description. Before we get started and talking about the full moon energy and Gemini energy and what this reading is going to be about, I want to remind you that at any point you can utilize the navigation bar to scroll through information that you're already familiar with. I take time to do timestamps on all of these videos so that you can navigate them based on your own level of understanding that you already have. If you're new, you're probably going to want to sit through and watch it all. But if you're not new, if you're familiar with the energies, the archetypes that I'm going to be talking about, you can feel free to scroll ahead to the readings and get right to the meat of the material. So we're going to be talking about full moon energy right now. Full moon energy is when the moon is full in the sky. It's always in the sign opposite of where the sun is. So we have a full moon in Gemini right now. The full moon will happen on December 7th. It'll happen at 23:07 Eastern Time. And it's happening in 16 degrees 2 minutes of Gemini. So the advice that we're going to be talking about for this full moon will last from this full moon until the next full moon, which will be from December 7th until January 6th. Full moons are always a time of celebration. It's celebrating a theme. It's like the full focal point and spotlight on something, and it's always a celebration underneath the sign that it is occurring in. So now let's talk about what Gemini energy is. Gemini is an air sign. So air signs rule and represent the mental and intellectual realm. So thoughts and beliefs and the mental processes of our beings are all contained within the realm of air. Now, Gemini is a mutable sign. Mutable signs are signs that happen during the change of a season. So they are the energy of change, the energy of adaptation, the energy of being not one thing, but also not another. Gemini occurs during the time when we transition from spring into summer. So this is the energy that we are in. We're celebrating a fullness of this Gemini energy, a fullness of this changing intellect that we have. Gemini is represented by the symbol of the twins. So the twins are this energy, like I said, of the mutable energy, of something being the same but different, which twins represent. It's also the energy of the mirror. What we see in the mirror reflected back to us gives us information about ourselves. So this is the intellectual quality of Gemini. Geminis are witty, they're clever, they're intelligent, adaptable, and they're energetic. This is a sign that's constantly having ideas. And as we celebrate this full moon, celebrate the energy of Gemini, we're going to be going to the cards to celebrate what our intellect has achieved this year. So that is going to be the focus of the card readings. We're going to be going to the Super Attractor deck by Gabrielle Bernstein, which is going to offer us an affirmation to help us support this and celebrate this amazing intellectual ability that we have. We all have different ways of expressing our intellect, and the Gemini moon really wanted us to focus on celebrating our minds, celebrating the intellectual realm, and really making it personal to us. So how you personalize this information is you watch the reading that is aligned for where 16 degrees, 2 minutes of Gemini shows up in your chart. Which house? Now, if you don't know how to find that information, that's absolutely fine. Just take the time to watch this tutorial video that's popping up right now. It is going to take you through how to enter in your birth data into a chart generator, and then how to read the chart enough to know where Gemini 16 degrees 2 minutes occurs in your chart, which house it occurs in. Now you can use any house system that you want to. I explained a little bit in the tutorial video. I use the whole house system, but there's also the default system, which is known as the Placidus system, and the equal house system, which starts the first house at the ascending point. Now, again, you don't have to know any of that. You just go with whatever you're called to. Your guides, your support team know which house system you're going to choose, and they're going to show up for you in whichever reading aligns with that house, okay? If you have questions after watching that video about which reading is the right video for you, please contact me and let me know. And let's dive into what information is coming through for us to celebrate about our intellect this lunar phase. So this reading is for you if 16 degrees 2 minutes of Gemini shows up in your 8th house. If you're already familiar with the 8th house energy, you can scroll ahead to the card reading. So the houses in our zodiac story represent where something happens. Each house is ruled by one of the zodiac signs and one of the planets. So the 8th sign of our zodiac story is Scorpio. The ruler of the 8th house is Scorpio. The ruler of Scorpio is Pluto, so Pluto also is the ruler of the 8th house. So when we're talking about where in our lives the 8th house represents for us, it represents the themes of Pluto and Scorpio, which is transformation. So this is the house of transformation. It can involve inheritance, which is a transformation of energy. It can involve magic, which is a transformation of thought into form. It can involve death, which is a transformation of one form of life into another. It can be a transformation of rebirth, something that is being reborn. And it is also our sexual energies, which has a very powerful, magical, transformative vibration to it. So this is the area of our lives that this full moon in Gemini, or the area of your life that this full moon in Gemini is pinging, because this is where it's happening. It's like the spotlight is showing up on this 8th house for you. And so as we celebrate our intellect with this full moon in Gemini energy, we're celebrating it for you specifically in the house of transformation. And so let's see what affirmation the super attractor deck has to share with us to highlight this celebration of intellect in the realm of transformation. So if you haven't already called in your spiritual support team, taken a few deep breaths, and opened your heart to receive the guidance that's most aligned for you at this time, please do that. Remember, you can pause the video to take more time to do that if you need to. When I make joy a priority, brilliant ideas will come naturally, support will surround me, and movements will form. This is such a beautiful, powerful affirmation in and of itself without any of the other energies that we've added onto it for this reading. So I would write this down and repeat it in the morning and at night. This is one of the most powerful affirmations that's come through for all of these readings. So, yeah, what I feel this card is saying is when you make joy a priority, that's when transformation happens in your life. Transformation through brilliant ideas, transformation through support coming through to surround you, and transformation of movements forming. What does that mean? Well, it means that things are transforming, things are changing. Change is occurring, movements will form, things will change. And so you're being invited to celebrate your ability to focus with your beautiful, intelligent mind that you have on joy, to intellectually prioritize joy in your life, to make it a focus in your life because of the transformative power of it. Now, this is a full moon, so this is celebration energy, like we said, but it's also not a new moon. New moons are new energies, whereas full moons are celebrations of energies already in play. So this is something that I would say you've already experienced, and your support team is here to remind you that you've experienced it before and to encourage you to celebrate it so that you can experience it again during this lunar phase. When have you made joy a priority, and how did it influence your life? This is a good reflection for you to have right now. If you already know that time and that place, great. This is what you're being invited to celebrate. You're being invited to celebrate the times in the past that you've made joy a priority and brilliant ideas came naturally to you. Remember that Gemini is the sign of brilliant ideas, the sign of having so many ideas all the time. Geminis are really like the idea generators of the zodiac. And joy is a key part for you in these brilliant ideas. And when have you seen transformation in your life because of the joy that you've focused on, prioritized? And how can you prioritize joy? How have you done it in the past? And how are you being called to do it now? This is a celebration energy. So we're being invited to celebrate joy, to prioritize it through our choices, through our intellectual focuses. So what is that for you? For me, making joy a priority is only choosing to sing songs that fill me with joy. A lot of times that is such a simple way that I experience joy and prioritize joy. Sometimes even just putting on some fun music and dancing brings me so much joy. It's how I prioritize it. And prioritize just means like making time for it. And instead of going to, especially, so prioritizing something is really interesting when you have something that you want to stop doing, but you can't really seem to get yourself out of the habit of it. When you go for that something that you are wanting to not do anymore, that's when you prioritize joy instead of that thing. Okay? So like I always give the example of having a little bit of a video game addiction, and I would like sit and watch a streamer stream for like 4 or 5 hours. Okay? And I wanted to stop doing that, but I didn't know how I could do that. But I also wanted to learn how to set up my own streams and how to present card readings to you guys like this. So when I found myself going to pick up the streamer and sit down for another 4 hours of mindless streaming, well, I don't have to judge it, but to sit down for my streaming fix, I would stop. I'd like literally like pull my hand back and be like, wait, this is time that I can spend to watch YouTube videos on how to set up a stream or download the program or start playing around with it or start doing the streaming myself. So that is how you can prioritize joy. If you have something that you've been wanting to release, you can definitely just replace that or just create time in your daily routine. Time in the morning, time at night, time after lunch, time on your drive to work, right? What are you listening to when you commute? Is it bringing you joy? Time spent with your family, maybe playing collaborative games with your family instead of, watching TV together, whatever it is that brings you joy. Find out how to prioritize it and stick with it this lunar phase, because Transformation is around the corner. Movements will form. That's a huge statement. And what was the other thing it said? Support will surround you. Yeah, you'll feel the support shifting around you to hold you and embrace you and help you to transform your life to feeling like you are supported, especially if you don't feel supported right now. But remember times in the past when you've prioritized joy, how you've prioritized joy, figure out how you're going to do that this lunar phase, and see the transformation that happens in your life as you celebrate this. All right, my beautiful 8th housers, let me know how this resonates. Let me know if you have questions. And as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste.